Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. Mark again here, Weatherman Plus. Now, this storm is strengthening up. We even have some new warnings and threats to watch out for, and we do have chances for tornadoes for today to pass by Florida. So there has been some updates in the severe weather, plus potential snowfall and the cold temperatures that's coming with this system. Now, if you've never been here before, make sure you subscribe. I am all year long. I'm going to show you in this video also what you can expect after this pattern, because we are going to be below average all the way till the end of March. But I do have a lot of information for all of you. Remember, timestamps are always in the description below. That way it can save you time. Thank you again for your time. Please remember to hit the like button if this has helped you, or even share to other people. Thank you for your help. I really appreciate it. Now, we didn't have any tornado reports. We did have a lot of storms. A lot of tornado warnings was put out, but it really only showed where I showed that 60 dew points where that one line of storms could form up yesterday into something severe. After that, it really wasn't anything going on at all just yet. And we had a lot of snow reports, over 350 snowfall report. Matter of fact, the 4-day total did come out to how much snowfall actually came across in the last 4 days. And there's going to be a lot of good skiing. So just in the next 4 days, you can see all this purple here. We're talking about 126 inches, 116 inches. We're talking getting all the way towards 6 to 8 feet. And on the very tip top, actually got a little bit of 10 feet. But this was amazing. I did repost this on X. So make sure you go to the links in the description of the video. Go to other platforms and follow me on there as well. Matter of fact, a lot of highways is now open that was closed for a couple of days in California because of what's going on with this powerful blizzard. This is now over. But it did record up to 12 feet in some places, and it did get wind gusts reported one time of 190 miles per hour, well above what it would be for a Cat 5 hurricane. And that was the high winds that I did report multiple days showing over 100. It was unbelievable the amount of winds that model was showing. And that was some powerful winds. I heard of a lot of problems people have been getting. Matter of fact, I did post in my community tab that the power grid was even having issues. So that was a pretty rare thing that was going on. Now you can see for this morning, we do have this powerful storm that is still bringing some precipitation towards California. This is going to make its way and be a big, strong trough. This is our storm coming in for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Really, in my opinion, Friday and Saturday is going to be the biggest days of this storm. Even though there's not a Saturday out yet, I do believe there will be one. And as you can see with the Euro, as that trough starts coming on land, as we go all the way from Wednesday and Thursday, brings a lot of storms in front of this system as this next system is pushing offshore in the northeast. That is bringing y'all some rainfall. But you can see as this pushes towards the east, this is going into Friday afternoon. You see how it grows for these strong storms in front of that trough. And you can see as you go through Saturday, bringing some more storms right across northern Florida, and that could be an issue as well, more chances for the tornadoes. Now, the first piece of energy that breaks off up here on the north, on the polar jet, as we get this subtropical jet, comes back later and hits that system again. You get that surface low forming up again in the northeast as that comes in and pushes it out. You can see as you get that trough, your jet stream comes right into that warm sector that is coming with these very warm temperatures. So as you go into Wednesday, you get some warm temperatures. You get Thursday, you get Friday. It does go a little bit further to the south. Look up for Friday. It goes further to the southern side as this pushes off. And for Saturday, look how it's mostly for the southeast, and it does still swing over by the Carolinas with the warm temperatures. You're going to see the same thing pretty much where you lift. So as you go through Wednesday with your cape, you can see it lifts up Wednesday, Thursday it lifts up, but really as you go into Friday, it all congeals together with a strong system, getting all this convection, all this lift for these storms to feed on, get some rotation in the atmosphere, and potentially bring some strong, severe weather, maybe some damaging winds, some hail, maybe even some tornadoes. And as it goes through overnight, look how it grows for the south, and this rods right along the Gulf Coast and spurts up again towards the southeast, towards the Carolinas for Saturday evening. So I do believe this is going to ramp up still for Saturday. They don't have anything yet, but I'm sure they will. At the same time, the strong winds from the jet stream coming across that warm sector is creating a lot of rotation atmosphere, create your surface low. But look how quickly it takes that northern track like GFS was showing yesterday, but still gets pushed off towards the east, brings some winds, but it brings that snow right on the wraparound as that's going around into the cold air, bringing snowfall with that storm. But you can see this with the GFS, all that bubbling up towards the Great Lakes, bringing strong storms, bringing chances for snowfall as that comes in with that cold front all the way from the 10th and beyond. It raises up all these 50, 60 dew points, even get almost on the edge of 70 before the storm system comes through and you get that little dry line creating severe weather. And as this goes through for Friday as well. But watch, it also carries over for Saturday as it goes one more day. I've been showing this in the last few videos that this could bring Saturday severe weather. You do have the dew points, you do have some winds, but you definitely got the lift. And when you look at your lower level winds, you can see how it changes its location. So as it grows up, it gets a strong surface low, starts pulling these winds and moisture northern from the Gulf as you go through Friday. And then for Saturday, watch how it changes. First, it's in the south, bringing these strong winds, and then it goes quickly across the Great Lakes, bringing the strong winds, immediately going to the western side on a high ridge. So that really is a big change. Now for today, there is a chance for tornadoes. It has grown a 2% for Florida. So here's your main cities in Florida at risk. There also is a chance for winds and a chance for hail for today. So this is where the storm system is going to start building up for Wednesday and for Thursday. So we got these storms that's brewing up for today. Multiple locations. We got them for Northern California. We got them for the Great Lakes, Tennessee, Kentucky Valley, a little bit of Ohio Valley. We got them in the southeast as we start getting that surface low, start building up offshore a little bit, and that's going to go up the coast. But you get these storms that comes right across Florida, pretty strong. Then as the evening comes along, they go further down to the south, all the way to Florida Keys. Now also I'm showing that why you're getting this big cluster of storms as you go for tomorrow morning up to the northeast. There could be some more cells that pass by southern Florida and the Florida Keys that could pop up a chance for a tornado as well. Because you can see with HRRR that as you go through the evening, you do get a lot of storms building up all night long in front of this front that's pushing to the east. And that's what's going to help build some of these cells, potentially making them severe. But as you go through the evening, look how it pushes further and further to the south. And as you go overnight, look, you still got them on the southern side of Florida. And you can see this from National Weather Service for Wednesday. You have two areas still under marginal for severe weather. That is chances for hail and maybe some winds. No chances for tornadoes just yet. But so far, National Weather Service has isolated strong to severe thunderstorms may occur Wednesday across parts of the Florida Peninsula and the southern plains. Occasional large hail and gusty winds should be the main threat with this activity. And now we got it set up for the storm. So as we go into Thursday, as everything starts to build up, we got our severe weather area. So far, here's your cities and states at risk for Thursday. Now, so far, National Weather Service has it as isolated to scattered severe thunderstorms should develop Thursday afternoon through Thursday night across parts of the southern plains and to the Arklatex vicinity. Large hail should be the main threat. And they also have that as you go Thursday night into Friday morning, that any supercells that can develop should pose a threat for large hail and damage and winds. Their tornado threat is less clear for Thursday and as it goes into Friday. But on Thursday, a broader marginal risk is in place across the southern Kansas into Oklahoma, Texas, and the Arklatex, where some potential for severe hail may exist. So we do got to watch out for the chances for large hail. And we still got our 15% for Friday. That's those storms going overnight Thursday into Friday. I will give you the latest update for tomorrow when we get newer information. But National Weather Service does have that there still will be a severe weather risk along the Gulf Coast, where it should support a threat for tornadoes, damaging winds, and hail with all the lift that I showed you, all that convection. And they have for Saturday, they do think that the moisture is going to outrun the lift, the convection, and it will not meet up together. But if it does, you need to pay attention here. Parts of southern Alabama into the Florida Panhandle, North Florida, and Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina will be closely monitored for possible inclusion in a 15% severe area if confidence increases that sufficient instability will exist to support the thunderstorms and the lift for tornadoes and damaging winds. Now you can see here for Thursday, right where National Weather Service has that 15% and that 5%. I'm still showing it's going to be later Thursday into Friday. And you can see this on CSU. It's showing that it's downgrading a little bit. Now SIPS is like GFS. It overdoes it just a little bit. You can see how it upscales it just a little bit right south and east of where that surface low will be. Now as we go into Friday, that is the main one that all three are pretty much on agreement as far as intensity. But you can see right here, it could stretch into Arkansas, even eastern Oklahoma, as the CSU sees that. So as that surface low transitions towards the Tennessee-Kentucky Valley, on the wraparound, could get some severe weather, while all this will be volatile. And Saturday, just like National Weather Service says, they will put out a 15% risk if it keeps showing the severe weather that we've been talking about here. You can see it for CSU. They believe in it as well. And you can see it for SIPS. They believe in it as well. Not only that, we need to keep an eye out for southern Georgia a little bit more intensified. So I do believe they will put out that 15% risk for what's going on with that. They might even wait a few days and put out a little bit less of an intensity of a risk. But there will be a risk for Saturday. I firmly believe that. I'm not letting that go. That's where it shows the lower level winds were just intensifying the whole time, and the storm actually strengthens. Gets better rotation in the atmosphere. I really believe Saturday is going to be a day. I think Friday and Saturday will be the strongest days. Now let's go to the air real quick. The temperatures that's going to come in for this cold blast. You can see we do have a big dip coming in of cold air all the way through the 10th and beyond. We even got more cold air coming in all the way until the first week of April. If you've never been here before, make sure you subscribe. I've been screaming this for a long time. Our spring is not going to start until April, especially for the East Coast. Now, one thing you can look at is your EPO, your East Pacific Oscillation, your jet stream starting on the West Coast because everything moves to the east. So you can see that it's going into a high ridge at that time when we get that cold air. So they're going to be going into a warm up, obviously. So where you have a high ridge, normally you got a trough on the other side in a jet stream. So the cold air will be coming towards the central U.S., towards the East Coast. Now there's more cold air coming in also towards the West Coast as we get that dip of cold air coming in for the rest of March. I will update y'all on that as well. I'm just showing you what's going on with this first pattern that we're dealing with. So you can see this when you look at your jet stream. So as you go through Thursday and Friday, you are getting all these winds still going right over your warm sector, still bringing you a lot of thunderstorms and bringing your severe weather. At the same time, you can see that high ridge that is building up. So what you got is exactly what I just described to you, that you're going to have this big ridge coming up. You're going to have this trough on the other side of it, and this is what's going to push your storms. So when you continue to go forward, what you're going to see is you're going to see this trough right here. You're going to see this trough move to the east, become a storm in the northeast, while you got this high ridge pushing right behind it. That's what brings the other piece, the polar jet, the other piece of energy, back into play and pushes that storm out. So look how you push it to the east, and all of a sudden you got that surface low building up, and there you go again. Now you got your trough right here bringing you that snowstorm in the northeast, and here's your high ridge. And let's not forget those temperatures. So as we look with the Euro for the next 7 days, you see you get some more for the higher elevations of Washington, Oregon, Northern California, also into Idaho, get a little bit for Western Wyoming, some for Colorado, and this is very important because all the models are still somewhat at a disagreement. You can see with the Euro, it is bringing it towards a little bit northeastern Ohio, Western Pennsylvania, Western New York, but New England is getting the big effect of it, also going into Canada. Now, when you go with GFS, this is your 0Z. These are the balloon data runs, the 0Z. You can see almost the same thing, but it brings it a little bit further into West Virginia, a little bit further into Pennsylvania and Ohio, not just for the higher elevations. So when you go by the update, the 6Z this morning, you can see it took all that away, but then it brings it into Michigan, and it's just displaced a little bit. But the majority of them is showing that right along the northeast coast, you're going to be getting rain. You're not going to see any of the snowfall. Now, even with the Canadian that showed that wild run yesterday, is confirming that. If there's any snowfall, it will be for the higher elevations only. That's the only ones that's going to see this snow. But having said that, y'all will see some good snow in those areas. Now, all this gray, this is all still about an inch of snow. You might see it come down. It might go in your grass for a little bit. but it will warm right back up and melt. But still is bringing a lot of that heavy rainfall coming with it as it goes through the weekend. Look how it's getting even heavier on that system, and for Saturday as well. A lot of heavy rainfall coming with that. Matter of fact, it's very concerning what levels GFS is seeing also. So just until Friday morning, this is what National Weather Service model is bringing about 1 inch in all of this yellow, almost 2 inches where you see in this red for northern Georgia, a little bit of the panhandle, and for the northeast as it tracks all that storm going all the way to the northeast, still bringing a big spread of 2 inches. But when you go by other models and you see a little bit further, you can see with the Euro, when you go a little bit further, you go 6 days, you can see it's bringing it all the way, still all the way for the intercoastal Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes, and a real heavy area right here for the south. And this does go a little bit further down California as the days come along as well. So when you go to do a little bit of comparison, look at GFS. This is 0Z, this is your balloon data run. But right here in this region, this is concerning. This down here, there's a lot. This can go anywhere from 4 to 6 inches of rainfall. Now look at this region. That's the 0Z. Look at the 6Z. It moved a little bit further north, but it's still there. It did not leave. So we do need to keep our eye on that. Still bringing a lot of flooding. So for today, you do have the marginal for flash flooding. You got some for Louisiana, and you got some for the southeast. Now this is going to start growing. It already gotten worse for the northeast. For tomorrow, you got the marginal going all the way up towards New England, all the way towards Maine. But now you got this slight risk for flash flooding that's going to start adding up as you get that surface low, and that brings all that onshore flooding. And you'll also have it for tomorrow while you're getting that flooding in the northeast. You do have a little bit while that trough is coming in for Southern California, bringing a marginal for flash flooding. This is for Wednesday. Now, as you go through Thursday, this is where it's going to change again. It's still bringing that big pile of marginal, but now we got that big slight risk as we go into Friday, and it's going to start adding up. Look, I believe this slight risk could grow a little bit more as we get in all these storms. Remember, GFS is seeing a big hot spot for 4 to 6, 4 to 7 inches of rainfall. Now, as you go through Saturday, there's a new one that popped up. We do have it for the southeast as you get those storms, but we also got it going towards Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes, going towards northeast, a marginal that's starting to build up. But let's not forget the cold air. So I'm going to walk you through the next couple of days. So as we go through Friday, we got some cold air starting to move through, and the wind chill is going to be some of the worst parts of this transition. The Rocky Mountains is going to feel anywhere from -5 to -15. Really cold wind chills moving through Canada, but it is going to warm up every single day. Now, as you go through Saturday, this is where it comes down some more. And with the wind chills, it is bringing that colder temperature further towards the southern side. But the highs for Saturday, once again, is going to warm right back up. Coming right back down again for Sunday. Sunday seems to be the biggest day. A lot more people are going to be frozen for Sunday. But you can see with the wind chills, it does come a little bit further into the lower 48. Now, for the highs, it's still going to pop right back up for Sunday. So even with those very cold temperatures and the worst day being Sunday, it's still going to warm right back up. And here it comes from Monday once again, and with the wind chills. But remember, we do have this below average anomaly pushing through, and we are in our above average over here kicking in as we go towards the 15th through the 20th of March. And when we're supposed to be going through our spring, we got a big below average anomaly kicking in all the way until the 24th, especially into Canada. Now, as you go towards the end of March and beginning of April, you're still below average towards northeast, eastern Ohio Valley, and the Great Lakes. Then that slowly leaves out, and you will get your spring as you go through the middle of April. Thank you for your time, everybody. Hope you all have a great day today. I will update you again in the morning. As we get closer, I will start going back to my afternoon updates just so we know what the latest information is. I appreciate every single one of y'all. And remember, whatever your day is going on, remember, you are special. You are worth dying for. Matter of fact, that is what our King has done for us and just for you. So believe that. Don't believe everyone around you that tells you you're no good. You are very special. Remember that. So I'm going to let you know, in my opinion, what the most important verse is in this Bible. Because if this did not happen, nothing afterwards would have happened. So, of course, it is John 3:16. For God so loved the world, that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. But you can't stop there. John 3:17. For God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. Amen. Jesus is not here to judge you, Yeshua. He is not here to judge you. He is here to save you. So don't believe all the bad spirits telling you you're not good, you're not worthy. None of us are worthy. This is all by grace. I wish the best for you. And remember, all glory always goes to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I hope he always gives you wisdom, gives you peace, gives you what your most desires are in your heart. So make sure you check your heart. That's all God cares about, is what's in your heart. Not what you look like, not what you wear. What's in your heart? Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Have a great day, everybody.